Hello and welcome. So, on this one, we're going to be solving the equation. We're finding all solutions to the equation right here. So, when looking at this, first thing I think is okay, we have some parentheses here that makes me think that we're going to want to try to use solving by factoring. But remember, in order to have solving by factoring, this has to equal 0 on one side, right? Either the left side equals 0 or the right side equals 0, right? Doesn't matter. You have to have it set to 0 in order to solve by factoring. Well, it's not. So if we want to, that means we're going to have to move everything from one side to the other. Well, which side do we want to move? It doesn't matter. You can start moving things between sides. Now, first off, if it's not set to 0, these parentheses are the most useless things of your life. There's no point to them. So let's multiply. Let's distribute the 5b here. So we end up with 10b squared plus 15b. And then that equals the 2b plus 3. Alright, so now you have the option. Right, you can either move this stuff to this side, or you can move this stuff to that side. Okay, personally, I like having my squared term positive, so I'm going to move this stuff over to the right side. Okay, again, it does not matter. So I'm going to bring this below so we have a little more room to work with. Okay, so when we're looking at this, I'm going to say, alright, we're going to move positive 2b by subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 2b on both sides, so that'll cancel. Adding 3, we undo addition with subtraction, so subtract 3 on both sides, so that'll cancel. And it leaves us with 0 equals 10b squared plus 13b minus 3. Alright, and now at this point, then I'd say, okay, if we want to solve by factoring, let's go for it. You can use any of your solving methods that work on quadratics like this. I personally prefer factoring, so that's what we're going to do. Right, middle numbers are 13, first times last, 10 times negative 3, negative 30. What two numbers will get us to negative 30 yet add to a positive 13? Be careful, that's negative 30, that's 15 and negative 2. Don't use 3 and 10, that will not get you the negative 30. Right? So 15 minus 2, positive 13. Yahoo! 15 times negative 2, negative 30. Awesome. Okay, now remember, at this point, the whole reason of why we add to 13 is because we replace the 13, so we have 0 equals 10b squared plus 15b minus 2b minus 3. Okay, solving by factoring, we want to split down the middle. The left side, what do they have in common? A 5b. When we take that out, we'll have 2b plus 3 left behind. Right side, minus 1, right? First term's negative, I'll pull a negative, but there's nothing more than a 1 in common. So I'll just switch the signs. 2b plus 3. Parentheses match. So we're going to factor them out like we would any GCF. 2b plus 3. And a 5b minus 1 is left behind. Okay, this is still an equation, still equals 0. Okay, now it's factored. Huzzah! Right? And we're solving by factoring. Once we get it to this step, the idea is that now we have two things multiplied to 0. Either the first thing is 0 or either the second thing is 0. Right? So it's okay, well, if my first thing is 0, right, we'd start that out by subtracting 3 both sides. So then we have 2b equals negative 3. Divide by 2. Your goal is to solve for b. b equals number, and you're not done until you get that, right? So then b equals negative 3 halves. But what if it wasn't the first factor that was 0? What if it was the second? So then we have 5b minus 1 equals 0. Same process, right? You want to get b alone, right? b equals is the goal, so we add the 1 over. Okay, then we get 5b equals 1. Divide by 5, divide by 5, b equals 1/5. That's it. Those are your answers. You have no more parentheses, no more factors, so negative 3 halves and 1/5 are your two answers. Okay, let me kind of shrink that so it fits inside the box a bit better. Okay, so 1/5 and 3 halves. Okay, done. Finito. Thanks for watching.